We're back on the blast off. Day one just finished up for the BAM Pro Am here out on the California Delta. And we're going to talk with some of the top contenders after today. It was a tough day of fishing. It was a 90 angler field. But Mark Casey topped everyone. He had 24.91 today. That's a massive bag out here on the California Delta. Mark, are you a local here? Do you have some hidden hot spots? Was it an awesome practice? What got you such a great bag today?
I am a local. I live in Fairfield. Been fishing the Delta all my life since probably the mid '80s with my father. He's a tournament angler back in the day, military bass anglers. And then kind of grew up bass fishing all my life with other stuff. And my dad taught me a lot of Delta fishing, And I'm still learning. Never stop learning. And got a lot of great friends at bass fish and stuff like Ken Long or Bill Rebate Jr. and stuff, and they teach me a lot too, and I learn a lot from them. Um, for I've kind of just ran everywhere I fish. Obviously, there's a lot of locals here. I'm not the only one, but I just had a really good day. I went fishing. I didn't have anything set up. I knew what I like to do, and I just stuck with what I always do, and to my strength. And I just fish my way. I don't listen to the doc talk or what people are doing because I can't fish like that for me. Um, but anyways, I just had a good day. Um, didn't lose any fish, nothing that would hurt me, and I caught them here and there. It wasn't in one area; they were all over the place. I picked one up here, one there, and they were all just like 5 pounders.
That's a good problem to have then. I mean, like I said, having that consistency and having that confidence to know that you can throw what you want and get bid on it, I think it's key out here, especially when you're in a high-end tournament where there's a lot of money on the line. You don't have to talk about bait specifically, but maybe you can cover if it's reaction, finesse, a little bit of both. Uh,
I punched all day.
all right.
I just put it that my practice days I punched, and honestly, I the first day of practice Wednesday, I maybe had 10 pounds. Came out yesterday. I got off the water at noon, and I didn't even have a limit.
Well, it
So
sounds like you
it
did
just
something right.
but of course, I'm not fishing the water I planned on
Yeah.
fishing. I have my areas I like to fish, and I just fish them. They've been doing really well for me for the past several years, and I just continue running through them and have a good time. I came into this tournament just to have fun. This is my first BAM tournament. I haven't not fished it. Pro tournament since 2018 was my last time. It was when FLW was around, and that's when I used to fish. And I think it was Clear Lake. Was the last one. But other than that, I kind of just uh, dropped back and just started fishing local teams and just having fun. I'm all about having a good time. Me making new friends and bettering myself.
Yeah, and that's really what it comes down to. I mean, whether you're a high schooler, you're a co-angler, or you're a pro, and this might not be one of your 10th season, it might be your first season or first couple events. It's about learning and growing every time. But talk about how it feels getting back into the pro scene. I mean, are you happy with the turnout for this event? Does it feel like what you remember, or expected? And yeah, how is the BAM trail?
Actually, it was better than I thought it would be. It was great to see a lot of guys I haven't seen in years. A lot of people with open arms and came up, gave me hugs and said hi and stuff. I haven't seen in a while. And, it was great. And you guys are doing a great job. I'm really impressed how you guys held everything up. Your DJ up there talking and stuff. Wow, he's amazing. And keep up the good work.
Yeah, and I mean, it really does take a team. If you have been watching our live streams, Ed has done a fantastic job progressing, learning how to talk on stage, connecting with these anglers. And one unique thing about our trail is we have a lot of hands that make one amazing product. So we have a lot of guys working the release boat. I mean, as we're talking, we've got our guys taking all those fish out to the middle of Big Break, releasing them. We have our live release program through Fisherman's Warehouse. So there's a lot of support on board, and that's why brands like Vexus and you're a Vexus Pro are working with us to just keep getting better every time. So, I mean, you already run a beautiful Vexus. Would you be happy to have an ABX 1880 as a top prize after another 2 days of good fishing?
If it happens, of course I would. I definitely want to thank Patrick Whitaker. He put me on the ambassador team, and I really appreciate everything he's done for me. Um, Try to keep in contact with him all the time. Uh, Joe Uribe, everybody knows who he is, and Ken Law, they're great. I mean, they promote the boat so well. I mean, if anyone wants to test drive, I run a show, and if anyone wants to run it with the show instead of the Merc, hey, give me a call, message me on Facebook or something. I'll take you out. You can run the Yamaha and then run one of their boats and see if you like which one you like better.
Yeah, I mean, that's really one cool thing about this community. We have a lot of different anglers that are fishing with Vexuses. So, like I said, like Mark said, if you guys are looking to get into a nice new ride that's going to be comfortable with those air ride seats, have big live wells to keep your five alive, then give these guys a call. Check it out. I mean, we've got Anglers Paradise that's got all their different models in stock. You can order it to perfection for what you want. Great boat. But just like you and Ken Ma, you both like to punch. So let's talk a little bit about that. I mean, these guys, when you hear punch, guys generally go the other direction. They don't like to do it. They don't know how to do it. Especially if you're not from California or the Delta, it might be a little intimidating. How do you find good punch water without giving away spots and stuff like that? How do you find the right presentation? Can you give a little bit of insight on that?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I like deep water grass. If it's too shallow, I don't even. I like try it out. I'm gone. I just don't waste my time. For me, I have caught them in shallower, grass, water grass stuff, and but most time I like that 5 foot range. That's a good depth for me in punching and stuff, and I look for that. And I mean, there's a lot of it all over the Delta. You just got to go out, and try it, and just pull over and just start hitting this and hit it at different tides, and move on to the next. And just put a lot of time in here. Like I said, I've been fishing since like I don't know since I was like 5 years old. I'm now 51, so it was a lot of years. But and plus, my dad was a bass fishing tournament angler back in the '80s, so you can fish all the time, and you can learn it. There's a lot of guys that learn it really quick. A couple of years, and they're just already winning. And that's great. Some people are got it like that. Fortunately, I have to go out and put the work in and figure it out and what works for me.
Yeah, and I mean, for the Delta specifically, are you a guy that runs a tide? Do you settle into an area? How does the tide affect it if these guys may have never fished a body of water like this? And I mean, knowing the water as you do, does it give you a competitive advantage?
It slightly might do. I mean, because I'm from here. I do like everyone most like high tide outdoor likes that. So that's my favorite. But you have to find areas that are opposite of the tide. So if when you catch them in this tide level, keep that in mind. And I got to keep this, in the back of my head that just I catch them like over here. Maybe at this tide level, I'm catching over here. Just keep a memo or write it down. I just have it all in my head. I don't even write it. Just try to go out. Okay, I know I can catch them at like slow tide incoming, right? I know I can go over here and catch some fish. But I just got to run the tide. I do run it sometimes, and I'll chase it if I'm on that bite. But there's sometimes I'm not. Sometimes you run the tide and it ain't even working for you.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is, and that's fishing. A lot of guys have a lot of skills, and we do the best we can, and the outcome always sometimes works, and sometimes it don't.
Yep, that's
Can't
fair.
win them all.
Yeah, and you can always lose on day one, but you can't win on day one. So you got
Yeah.
2 more days of fishing. Hopefully you stick with it. You'll be on the show a few more times this week if you're lucky. If you get those right bites. If not, it's still a great learning experience. Real quick, just cover how do you think the fishery is out here? How's it with the extra grass that's growing this year that guys are talking about? Does it seem like the fish are healthier, how's it changed out here over the last couple of years? How are conditions setting up for 2 more days of fishing, and what do you think it's gonna take to stay in contention?
um, yeah, the grass has changed. It changes all the time. Delta changes every year. What you're fishing this year, or even one week. I was in an area, and I'm like 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, I was there, and like, dude, this place was choked up. What happened to it all? I'm looking around, and it's gone. And then it actually helped me because I was able to pick one of the. I think I was maybe one of the six. I got one that was almost six. There, that was probably my biggest one, and we just kept punching along. And but sometimes the grass is changing. the water's changing. Now we got any mussels supposedly in here. I mean, everything changes, and you just gotta get on the bite and stick with it and follow it. There's guys that are out here all the time, and they just follow the bite. When the bite changes, they adapt, and you gotta learn how to adapt with one thing, especially here, because this place changes by the hour. You can pull up in an area in 15 minutes, load the boat for 20 pounds, and dead all day. Or like, I'm honestly, my last 2 fish I caught, they were like last 15 minutes. I punched 2 fives in the last 15 minutes, and now it's like that gave me the bigger bag.
Well, I mean, it sounds like it's anyone's game tomorrow then. If you get that last 10 minutes and it's your time to shine, then hopefully it'll work for you. Hopefully, you have another consistent day tomorrow. If you don't find what you're looking for, then hopefully you can swing and get lucky too. But I think you had a great start today. We appreciate you coming on and telling a little bit about what you did, how you did it, and giving some insight on the Delta. And you guys need to stay tuned because we have the co-angler leader who caught 22 pounds today. And then we're bringing our high school leader on. So thanks again, Mark. And we'll see you tomorrow.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Randall and I want to talk to you real quick about choosing the right electronics mount for your bass boat.
And we know the quality and effort that Van Foster has put into this company.
So what you get is a custom fitted mount, not some mass produced universal mount for every bass boat out there.
Seat pedestal plugs, tool holders, steering wheel spacers, and battery trays are all made with the same attention to detail that Bass Boat Technologies is known for. Check them out at bassboattech.com. You'll be glad you did.
Ever struggled to navigate shallow waters without damaging your boat? Realize your boat's potential with outboard motor performance products from Bob's Machine, an award-winning world leader in the marine industry since 1978. With over 45 years of dedication to quality, Bob's Machine offers innovative hydraulic transom jack plates and accessories for your boat.
We're back on the blast off, and we're here to talk about our co-angler leader now. Like I said a minute ago, he had 22 pounds for day one of the competition. He absolutely crushed it. And it's because he's a confident, solid angler that, I mean, I don't know if it was luck or skill, but we'll ask JD Madden right here, who's leading day one of the BAM Pro-Am. How are you feeling?
Great. Yeah, had a great day. Got to fish with Luke Johns today. So, I've watched Luke come up and do all the winning that he's done over time. I knew we'd be around fish all day. I love watching all these guys compete. I fished it as a boater last year because Tyler wasn't around and didn't need the boat, but he needed the boat, and they all convinced me to fish backseat for this event. So, to start out like that and to get to spend a day with a great guy, it was just fun day.
Yeah, and I mean, you've got about a 10-pound lead on the rest of the field right now, so you're sitting pretty. You've just got to catch a few more tomorrow and Sunday, and then honestly, $7,000 for first place on the co side doesn't sound too bad. That's more than second place on the pro side, so maybe you picked the right choice.
Yeah.
And talk a little bit about how your day went. I mean, was it just bite after bite in the morning, or was it an all-day progression? Break down how those bites came.
Yeah. No, for me, I had 5 bites, or I had 6 bites. I landed 6 fish today, 6 bites, and I just had 5 of the right bites today. And it was spread out throughout the day. I remember looking at the phone when I caught my last fish, which was like a 4.5, and it was about 12:30. And I think I punched one more after that. But overall, all day, like I wanted to stay out of Luke's way. I understand how much all these pros put into it, and I'm along for the ride to enjoy the day. And I honestly tried to just stay out of his way and fish the stuff he wasn't fishing or he had already fished. If he went to today, honestly, just best advice to a angler is just don't be afraid to send your lure somewhere that you think, I'm not sure. I literally caught 2 of my really nice fish today. When he moved sides of the channel, I turned and fired it across all the way to the other side, and then just slowly drug the sink. I caught 4 fish on a Cinco, one fish on a punch that was in my bag, and I just I just went fishing, and I got the right bites today, and it was, yeah, I've been out here. I think a lot of people know. I mean, ti- I retired in October of last year, and I started guiding out here. And so I've been guiding out here. I've been on the water other than the off limits days every day for probably the last 18 days, with either trips with clients, or I went and got my Coast Guard stuff. I've done it as a second year going into it. So I I know what the fish are doing, and I really tried to just put my bait strategically where I thought they were right now at this phase. So
Awesome. Well, I get the feeling you might be getting a few more phone calls. So, talk a little bit about your guide service and how guides can find you.
yeah, so it's Title California Delta Fishing. You can That's my website. It also pops up on Fishing Booker. Fully licensed Coast Guard captain. You get to go, pick your trip, and we can go chase, tides if you want to chase tides, techniques if you want to chase techniques. And I've done a lot of trips, tailored a lot of trips lately for kids whose parents don't know how to offer them. They're interested in fishing, so I'm taking a lot of kids fishing and teaching them that as well. So I'm located out of Bethel Island. We live in Delta Cove, so it's really easy, and we fish a ton around the Central Delta.
That's great. So, yeah, if you heard it, I mean, just like his awesome program to get youth out fishing. Talk a little bit about our high school program. Do you think it's kind of a cool deal? How did Tyler Madden, your son, who's also doing pretty well in this competition, but was Angler of the Year in the Pro Tour last year? How would he get his start? And what steps can parents take for the youth?
Yeah, so Tyler started. I mean, I can remember literally putting him in the bassinet and taking him on the boat. From the time he was, and I'd hide him underneath my Ranger console while I was driving, and so he's been on the boat that long. I mean, literally right here. It's kind of surreal to me to be sitting here at Big Break, because this is where we almost always launched, him and I. I'd pick him up at kindergarten, first grade, second grade, and we'd idle out right here, turn right, and we'd fish the break in after school. So this is really just special water to us out here. So then to move back out here and live on the water. So Tyler grew up on the boat, but he was playing baseball. Then found his way to college fishing after 2 years of college baseball. Didn't have high school fishing at that time that was accessible to Tyler because of all of his baseball. Yeah. But the high school fishing now in this area, I think, I mean, you see the turnout you're going to get for the kids event.
Yeah.
If we can just turn 10%, right, of those
Yeah.
kids into high school anglers, and the high school event that, just recently had over, 50 boats, I think. So, the one of the ones that went out. So I think BAM continues to market themselves to that group, and I think the numbers will continue to grow. Simpson's doing a great thing by offering that, and the kids who are really into it and understand the opportunities. I can't say enough for what it did for Tyler at Auburn, and the programs that are out there, and I highly recommend it.
Yeah, and I mean, if you don't know about some of these college anglers, we have some real good ones fishing right now on the West Coast. Tyler Madden, especially. Ty Mantarola graduated from Dallas Baptist, and I think he's gotten more second place and third place finishes in the last, I mean, season than probably anyone on the West Coast. And he's supporting his family by fishing now. And Brendan Osborne, he just won 2 boats in his senior year at Simpson University. So there is opportunity out there. And it's for those students that take advantage to it to really succeed and do well. He talked about our youth event. We have 400 youth coming out to Big Break Marina on Sunday to get involved, meet pros, and really connect and engage with the community, learn casting lessons, and there's prizes, all sorts of good stuff. Let's talk a little bit about the Delta. Some of these guys did not do so good today. What's some advice you can give people that may not have a lot of experience out here on how to just have confidence in what they're doing, better themselves as anglers, and just a few tips and tricks that might help someone out?
Yeah, Delta's been fishing up and down right now. 2 weeks ago, I fished the Bass and Badges event, police fire event, weighed 21.5 the first day, 23.5 the second day. Very consistent, and way more bites. This practice now anytime I've noticed in May, you get around the full moon, these fish get much more interested in spawning than they do in eating. So the bite slows way down, and it becomes a little bit harder to target those fish unless you've identified them and where they are already, and then just go slow down in those areas. The more you slow down in those areas, the more likely you are to get the quality bite. Um, so that's my biggest piece of advice. It just the Delta fish is tough on the full moon. You'd think, oh, I want to be there on the full moon. I struggle more on the full moon than I do on anything else. But when you get a bite, it can be the right one. It can be a real quality bite.
Yeah. So it's not just you if you're struggling. There are a lot of effects that go into it. It could be the tide changing. It could be location. It could just be luck of the draw, and if you cast at the right tule patch. So there's a lot of a lot that goes into fishing the California Delta. With it being so expansive, how do you tell someone to learn out here and tell them to break it down? Do you have any tips on that?
Yeah, for me, people come out and they try to do advanced things. One of those advanced things is what you talked about on the first group, with your first person with Mark there, is running the tides. People come out here and think that they can figure that out. Well, the only way you're going to know to run a tide when the fish are biting is if you've hunkered down in an area and understand how the fish move within those tides. So my piece of advice is take an area of the Delta and fish it hard for a significant period of time. Give yourself a couple weeks in the Central Delta in Franks. Give yourself some time in the sloughs in Tracy. Go up towards Whites and understand, because all those fish move different. They move different in the flats than they do in the sloughs, and fishing techniques are different. And then you start to break down those areas. You can't just come out here and do advanced things like running the tides and be successful. And you also will learn, when you slow down, you'll learn where the hazardous boating areas are, right? And because out here it's tricky, and you need to know where those hazards are. And the only way to know is to take your time and work through those areas to learn them.
Awesome. Well, you just got a lot of advice for, free. You didn't even have to pay for a guide trip. So if you want to get more, give this guy a call. Look up Tidal California Delta Fishing, because he's consistent. He can teach you a few things. And if nothing else, he's just a great person. Speaking about the Bass and Badges event, you can go up to Lake Shasta this Sunday if you're not fishing out here on the California Delta, and you can go fish the Back the Blue tournament, which is another fundraiser both for Simpson University's criminal justice program, but also for the Communities for Police Canines. So it's a great support. You can find all the information on social media. It's pretty much been blasted everywhere, but a great cause that you guys can donate towards. Let's get the next guest on. We talked to JD Madden. We talked to Mark. Now we're going to talk to our high school leader, and we're going to wrap things up so they can get ready for day 2.
I give a shout out real quick to a few people. I just like to shout out I just looked over in the parking lot, and Tanner from Boat Pros was out there working on somebody's boat. They're super supportive of all of us. Rob at the Bass Hole has been great. And just one last thing. It was super special today to catch every single fish that I caught on rods that my own son made with Western Angler rods. And so Western Angler Rods is getting ready to do a drop of his first rods. Highly recommend them. Super proud of them. And pretty special day out here. So thanks, Michael, for everything.
Yeah, thank you. And if you just heard Western Angler Rods, Chad Schweitzer had another 20-pound bag, and he was using them as well. So there's a little bit of something to be told when these top level guys make a good quality product. And I think there's high quality components that you're going to want to check out when they do drop. So thanks for coming on. You guys follow Western Angler Rods, follow Tidal Fishing, and we'll get the next guest on shortly.
Thank you.
Tackle Warehouse has everything you need to get out and catch more bass. Rods for every application or technique. Over 1,000 reels to choose from. Monofilament, braid, and fluorocarbon lines. A massive selection of baits from the smallest to the largest. Exclusive baits and colors only available at Tackle Warehouse. Everything you need to build or customize your favorite lures. And of course, countless options to store it all. Tackle Warehouse. Click, save, fish.
Competitive anglers powered by Mercury Pro XS outboards have won more bass fishing tournaments than all other brands combined. With lightning-quick acceleration, legendary reliability, and lightweight design, Pro XS has everything you need to travel farther, faster, and harder.
All right, it's time to wrap up the show. If you've tuned in for this long for the blast off, you already talked to our Day One Pro on the California Delta. You talked to the Day One Co-Angler. Now we're talking to the Day One High School leader. This is a brand new division that BAM started. It's our second season. The BAM Scholastic Series gives a high school angler an opportunity to fish as a co for 2 days for $100. So it's a pretty good bargain. Ryder Staley came and took advantage of that. He's a Northwest angler. And Ryder had 13 pounds on a body of water he's never been to. How was it today, Ryder?
It was great. Definitely a different experience.
And who'd you fish with?
Mark Mello.
Okay. So talk a little bit about the trip to get down here, your first day out here, practice. How it's been for you.
So we drove about 15 hours down to California from Burbank. And I got to practice yesterday. I got, I think, 2 fish. One was like 3.5. But then towards the end of the day, I definitely started figuring out like what they wanted. And like we started catching more of them and what kind of colors and everything like that.
Cool. And you fished with Jamie Reuter, I believe?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So Jamie's a great Super 60 pro. He didn't have to, but he found a high school angler that didn't have someone to fish with, came from out of state, got him on his boat. So it's great when individuals, pros are able to do that and get people out on the water to learn and advance a little bit more. So Ryder did pretty well today. What were you catching them on?
So to start the day, I was using a punching rig, like a black and blue jig. And that's what I caught my big fish on. And then after that, it was all chatterbait after that.
Okay, so we already heard finesse. We heard a little bit about punching. Now we finally got into a chatterbait. Talk about color, size, what kind of trailer you use. What makes a chatterbait work?
So I was using a smaller size chatterbait and it was kind of like a gray color with a little bit of like a shine to it. And I was using a gray beaver tail for my trailer.
All right, that is not what I thought you would say. That's definitely not green pumpkin. That's something unique. What? Where did you come up with that combo?
Well, I was using black and blue to start, and I broke off, and we don't really use chatterbaits back where I'm at with all the smallmouth and everything. I've just never really used it. And that was the only other color I had, so I just tried it out.
All right, so if that's all you got, then give it a shot, it sounds like. That's great, Ryder. It sounds like your family made the trip.
Yep.
So that's pretty cool to see that they are supporting a hobby of yours. What do you want to do with that? Are you trying to fish in college?
Yeah, I'm trying to make it to a college for fishing and trying to get like a higher degree through it and do the best I can.
Awesome. So, degree in fishing, or do you have an idea of what you want to do?
I want to get my general in engineering.
Cool.
And then if I find something I really want to do, master off of that.
Okay, so it sounds like he can catch bass. He's got a little bit of brains. Looks like he's got some potential. He can fish well. So if you're a high school or college coach out there that's ready to recruit another angler, give this guy a look too. We're trying to pull him over to look at Simpson University later this week. So he's got some options, and he's going to be successful. We can tell you that much. How's the high school series been for you? Is it what you expected? Are you
Yeah, it's
enjoying it?
been awesome. It's a great experience. Like if you're wanting to do high school or get into fishing, it's a great way to start.
Yeah, and what have you been doing in your part of the world? Are you fishing any TBF tournaments out there?
I've been fishing our local high school tournaments for Washington. And then I'm doing a few local tournaments this year, just like local team tournaments.
Cool. And so it sounds like you're doing pretty well here.
Yep.
Are you going to go to Moses and Potholes then and give
Yep.
that a shot?
Yep.
And how'd Shasta treat you?
It was pretty good. I got 5th place, I believe. It was definitely a lot different. It was more like smallmouth fishing though. So I was doing good. It's just not much size.
So it sounds like the TBF circuits have been treating you well. What are your plans for the rest of the series for the Scholastic this year? Are you planning on doing Moses or any of the
Yep.
Northwest teams?
So I'm planning on doing every single tournament this year as of right now, trying to make it to all of them.
Okay, and what's your goal? Angler of the year then?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and yeah, if you do that, you'll already be 25 grand on your way closer to a college education. But more than that, you'll even get more exposure. Hopefully, you'll probably be featured in the next magazine article for this tournament as well. But I mean, yeah, what are your goals in the sport? I mean, do you have any ideas of what you want to do in that?
Really just like get out and like try to help bring as much kids as I can into the sport.
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty good effort to do, and hopefully you'll stick around on Sunday then and
Yep.
work with some of our youth events as well. If you didn't hear it first, 400 kids coming out here, so it's going to be a pretty crazy weekend. Always a good time in the city of Oakley. What are your thoughts going into tomorrow? Do you have the same baits tied on? Or are you anything?
Mostly the same baits. Might try on like turn or try tying on a different kind of worm, maybe a little bit different color, drop shot.
Awesome. And do you think it's going to get tougher tomorrow for you guys? Or
I think it's gonna be a little bit tougher, yeah, but I don't think it's gonna be like crazy different for the coast at least.
cool. Well, yeah. I mean, right now you're on to a good start. You've only got one more day because it's a 2-day competition for the high school anglers, which means 5 fish tomorrow, and you could be holding the championship plaque for that. Taking home a little bit of prize money as well, which will always be good. And then you'll be well on your way to Angler of the Year if you can settle it down. But you do have some good fishermen behind you. This season's already grown in participation for the high school division. We have 11 anglers here. Hopefully, we'll cap out at 15 at Lake Don Pedro. So that means you should sign up early if you are a high school angler. And if you're a pro or co watching that's got to wake up at 5 a.m. and do this again tomorrow, make sure you guys get everything you need tied on. Um, Ryder, any advice for these guys?
I'd really just say learn as much as you can from your pros. Like just take in as much as you can from them.
All right, you heard it. Take it in, watch it, see what's going on here on the Blast Off with Bray, see what's going on the BAMTrail.com website, and make sure you guys stay up to date, in tune with everything you can for the BAM Pro-Ams, and get involved. We want you out here. We want you fishing, and we want to make it fun for everyone. This is a wrap.
Hey, Northern California bass anglers. Ready to elevate your fishing game? Ford Fairfield partners with Bass Angler Magazine to offer top-notch trucks tailored for your needs. Our simple pricing ensures a fair deal and exceptional service. We live and breathe bass fishing, participating in local tournaments to understand exactly what you need so you never miss a good bite. Visit Ford Fairfield today and let's hit the water together.